Hi, I've been on Misha's program now, Metabolic Health, Energy and Personal Development, for about 3 months. Originally, about 21 years ago, I came down with chronic fatigue, and there weren't really any medical ways to help you. It was barely recognised at the time. It was yuppie flu, and often the doctors would say, you know, you've got it for life, you don't get better from this. But I discovered buteyko breathing, and that helped me a lot. It helped me regain some control, some energy, and it was really good for the anxiety associated with having a very debilitating condition that you didn't know whether you were going to get better from. And in the buteyko, yes, I became a buteyko practitioner about 10 years ago. And in that community, the buteyko community, I met Misha. And I've been keeping an eye on what he's been doing, because he's been doing some very interesting things, especially when you look at the oncology world, where he's had some fantastic success with people with the worst sort of tumours, glioblastoma, where they're given, you know, maybe 3 to 6 months to live. So really life-threatening, life-limiting diseases, whereas I think my problems are more quality of life destroying, rather than, you know, I'm unlikely to die from it. And I think he's an example of when I've heard this saying, really, will those of you who say this can't be done, will you please get out of the way of the people doing it? Well, he's one of those people. So when eventually this year he offered a course for metabolic health in English, I was there in the queue ready for it, because I already know about the breathing aspect, and I also know something of structural, physical aspects. I had to do some postural alignment work, because I was getting such backache that I couldn't breathe properly. But he has other aspects as well, nutrition being a big one. And I knew at the back of my mind over the last few years, I'd seen from some trusted sources that people who dealt with chronic fatigue, a very large proportion of their clients were or had been vegan or vegetarian, and I had been vegetarian for many years. So that was something eventually I had to look at, and I knew that Misha really looked into nutritional aspects and ketogenic meat eating. So that was something I wanted to look at, and I'd had a go at ketosis, going into ketosis once in a half-hearted way on my own, and I knew I would need a lot of hand-holding. But he also looks at mental resilience, physical resilience, and immune resilience. So it was the sort of things I was doing, but much broader and much deeper, and he brings into it useful things from martial arts that he's got a lot of experience with. So yeah, I was keen to get going, and it's been a very interesting 3 months. I think the last month has been really tough for me, but I think I'm getting through it. I was one of the people who found it very hard. I lost a lot of energy going through ketosis, but now my energy levels are coming up. It's been just a really good experience. He has, he'll have an angle on anything from top to bottom of the body, anything to do with health, natural health. So it could be, he'll give you some exercises on your eyes to improve vision. He can recommend the best type of barefoot sandals to wear, all sorts. But it's the program, as he says, he nudges us along. We hear him live 6 times a week. Some of them interactive, some of them Q&A, some of them videos, and also some audios and recordings on the app. So we hear from him many times a week, often quite short, bite-sized, maybe 20 minutes or less, longer for the Q&A and the other interactions. And it just is fantastic information, as I say, broader and more deep than anything I had before. And so the process is brilliant, and I'm so pleased that it's going to be for a year. I'm very curious to see where I'm going to be in a year's time. I feel I may be on the verge of just taking off. And it's a very nice online supportive community as well. Everybody is sort of clued up in that group on natural health. And so we have a group of people who are researching and coming with their own stories or findings and sharing it with others. It's quite interesting. So yeah, Misha's just great. I've never seen, he talks the talk and he walks the walk. He really does, and you can see he's dedicated everything to helping people with these conditions. And he's let us into his life really as well. He's a great guy. So I just couldn't imagine anyone more dedicated to his clients. So it's just fantastic. So I'll leave it like that, and I'm just very curious to see where I'm going to be in a little time, in a year or so. I know it's going to take a while as well. My health has been suboptimal, my habits, my lifestyle suboptimal for many years, and I know it's going to take a while to put right. But I'm at the stage where I was thinking this year, do I retire so I can concentrate more on my hobbies? But I'm thinking, possibly, if I get more energy, I can do both. Now that would be better. So we'll see.